To the breaking news, former Labor Minister Stephen Conroy and former Victorian Liberal Party President Michael Kroger. Gentlemen, great to see you both. Michael, you heard Peter Dutton. He says he's going to be there with bells on. It's a key moment for both leaders, isn't it?
Well, it really is. It'll be the first time they've been head-to-head during the campaign, and well done to you on securing that, KG. So, yeah, it's important. I think, despite what the polls say, I don't think this is going well for Albanese because, and you'll see this on Tuesday night, he can really only talk about one subject, which is Medicare. We're now 5 days into this campaign, and every day his language gets more extreme. Today he said the coalition were going to gut Medicare. This sort of campaign to, race to the bottom by Albanese to scare the elderly and the sick and the infirm that somehow under the coalition their healthcare is going to be affected. He has to play that card, KG, because there's so many other subjects he can't talk about. You remember the old Channel 9 worm when a leader spoke, and when the worm went down, it meant the audience was disapproving of what that politician was saying. Now, if you look at the list of subjects that Albanese can't touch, it's why he's desperately clinging to his Medicare card, this sort of, repeat of the 16 campaign. He can't really talk, I'm looking at this list here, can't really talk about power prices, the cost of living, the budget. He can't talk about housing, defence, immigration, interest rates, crime, border protection, refugees breaching their visa conditions. He can't talk about the safety of Jewish Australians, the NAPLAN education results. He can't talk about the Makarrata Commission or truth-telling. He can't talk about nature-positive laws, the building industry, tax on super unrealised capital gains that Peter Dutton just spoke about. He can't talk about small business, the mining industry, farmers, increasing union power, Gaza visa holders, Palestinian demonstrations. He can't talk about any of those things because the worm will go down when he speaks. And so this is why he's clinging to Medicare. But he can't do that forever. He's now done it 5 days in a row. Sooner or later, he's got to talk about something else. But every one of these other issues will work against him, KG.
Stephen Conroy, the Sky News Daily Telegraph People's Forum, the beauty of the format, as you both know, is that there is a room full of undecided voters chosen independently and selected by a specialist market research company. And it's unpredictable, unscripted, and really hard to navigate for leaders in that setting. I guess that's why we think it's the best format, Stephen.
No, look, and like Michael just said, congratulations to you and Sky for securing that. I think this election campaign is on a knife edge. You've seen movement in polls the last 4 or 5 days. If you're the Prime Minister, you'd be very happy with, but they're all within what you call the margin of error. So I think the actual performance, probably for the first time in 5, 6, 7 elections, the election campaign is going to help determine the outcome. Often, ScoMo was probably dead beforehand. Labor was probably dead in 2013. 2010 became a debacle with lots of distractions. So I think the performance of the PM and the performance of Peter Dutton, which is going to be on show for Australians to see on your debate next week, Kieran, is absolutely vital. They both have to perform well.
Yeah.
If one of them blows it, that could be lasting damage going forward, because this election is so tightly framed between the marginal seats in different states going in different directions. So I think this is going to be fascinating to watch next Tuesday night.
Yeah, absolutely, Stephen. I absolutely couldn't agree more with you in terms of the importance of it. And Michael, just to add to that, the fact that it's the first debate of the campaign, it is a couple of weeks ahead of people going to the ballots. It's not after people have started voting. It's important in that sense to hold momentum or generate momentum for either side.
Yeah, I think it's, I agree with Stephen completely. I think it's vital for both leaders. By next Tuesday, which we know is a week away, Albo will be under pressure for the reasons which I've just explained. And that's why at that forum, he probably needs to announce a couple of big new policies to regain momentum. The polls appear to look as if he has got momentum. I can tell you those polls are out of date. He is now losing momentum every day because he can only talk about Medicare, and he's barred from talking about all the other subjects I just mentioned. So I think on Tuesday night, he's going to be under real pressure by then to come out with some big new ideas, because people basically are disappointed with the Albanese government, whether you're Liberal, Labor, whatever. I mean, I think there's a general sense of disappointment with the performance of the government. Albanese. The only thing I'd ask you, KG, is can Sky please make sure that the market research company picking the audience, which in previous elections has been pretty balanced, I hope it's not the same market research company that picks the balanced audiences for the Q&A program on the ABC, because they seem to get it wrong every week.
No, we'll be vigilant on that one. Trust me, Michael. We will be vigilant, absolutely, on trying to ensure that room is a room full of undecided voters. And Stephen, let's be honest, as we await and build up now to the Sky News Daily Telegraph People's Forum, that there is still a large cohort of undecided voters out there.
Yeah, no, there absolutely is. I mean, as I said, those movements in the polls are very small. But I would say I think Michael's living in a parallel universe to the actual election that's taken place since it was announced last Friday. Michael, 19 of those 20 topics that you mentioned will not get raised by an actual voter. They won't have the Liberal Party talking points. They won't be raising those issues. They'll be focused on the single biggest issue, and that's cost of living. And what you've got is a number of proposals by Peter Dutton, which are poorly thought out. He won't release the details of. And Peter Dutton has been campaigning to be the State Premier of Queensland, from what I can work out on his law and order and crime stuff. It's like, Peter, knives and machetes are not a federal government responsibility. So get back onto the issues that Australians are talking about that are relevant to the federal election. And that's cost of living, your completely uncosted and crazy proposals around nuclear, which on their best day will deliver Australians potentially, if you want to believe the modelling, cheaper electricity prices in the year 2040. Even his gas reservation plan, he will not say if there is even a fall in the cost of electricity. He will not say when. That it's simple. You say in the next 3 years there will be, don't go full, stabilisation. So he can't even say whether there'll be an impact by his gas reservation policy in the next 3 years. So he's got to come up with some pretty substantive policy between now and next Tuesday.
Stephen, Michael, thank you for your reaction on that breaking news. Appreciate that.